Hey guys, thanks again for joining in another episode where I'm showing you guys Magic cards. I know normally I show Pokemon, but I'm showing you guys the very first set from Magic, which is Alpha. And you can see those right here. They were graded by CGC. I'm doing 25 card submissions to these guys. And if you wait around to the very end, I'm going to show you guys, one, why they did not grade this card, and then two, I'm going to show you guys an uncut sheet of Mercadian Mosques. It's actually going to be the reverse holo or foil. They use that word a lot more on the Magic side. On Pokemon we kind of use holo, but they like to use foil, and it's going to be for the rares. Now, so we're going to start off here with the Dwarven Warrior. Got an 8.5. That's a very solid grade. We've seen a lot of 5s, 6s, 7s. Got an Earthbind, Earthquake. And then we have Elvish Archers right there. Let me put some cards behind here because I have a little bit of trouble with the zoom sometimes. Evil Presence, especially with the CGC cases, they're very shiny or reflective, and it's hard to focus. Got Farmstead, Fast Bond. Again, I bought most of these so long ago that I don't even remember how much I paid for them. I have a record of it somewhere. So I'm not sure which ones are worth a lot. I mean, there's going to be some cards that stick out. Got Feedback, Fire Elemental, Fireball. Fireball, it always stuck out to me because I remember going through and sorting all of the bulk that people would bring in. I'm talking like 250,000 cards, and I sorted all of the bulk by set, and that way when people wanted to go through the bulk and try to find a card, they could go into the individual sets and hopefully find what they need, because I had a lot of players that come in. Playability is such a huge thing in Magic. In fact, some of the most expensive cards today are Magic the Gathering cards that were playable back then, and they're still playable today. That's why Black Lotus is such a big card. Man, look how off-center that one is. Got the Frozen Shade. Fork, I believe this was a pretty big card, which this is one that I got from Troll and Toad, if I recall correctly, a while back. I don't remember it being inked, but it says it is. Maybe it's that right there, those little dots. When I originally submitted all of my Magic Alpha to CGC, I was under the impression none of them were inked, because I don't really like to sign cards, even though I think that does add an element to it. And then of course I thought they were all authentic as well. And I'll show you the last card here in a minute. We've got Giant Growth, and then we have Giant Spider. So the one card that they did not grade was this right here. It was a Fungasaur, which is not, I'm pretty sure this one is not an expensive card. But what it says right here is that it was clipped. It was a clipped beta, and it says registration off for Alpha. And so you can see right there, it is an altered card. So for those of you who don't know, the beta cards and the Alpha cards are essentially the exact same in terms of printing. The only thing that's different are these rounded corners. So beta is the second edition. If you take a beta card and you just cut off parts of the corners, you can essentially turn it into an Alpha card. Now if you look at this, if you check the corners, you can kind of see how they look pretty clean, but the problem is they don't have like the little raised pieces at the end of like where the rounding occurs. I'm going to show you guys another card. That's why I'm thinking that they said it was clipped. I'm not an expert in this stuff. I didn't examine them too much, but if you look at these, it almost looks like the cards were, when they were rounded, they were kind of pressed in. Man, it's so reflective. Here, you can kind of see it with this one. I'll put it in the middle of the ring. But I'm thinking that's what the issue was that they found with the card. But looking at it like in person, I can see why they would say that it's a clipped beta, because it does not look like a normal Alpha rounded edges corner card. And this is probably one that I bought a while back at the very beginning when I was buying a lot of Alpha cards in auction, especially the lower end ones, because this is a big set, 295 cards, and then I believe there are some that have multiple variations. But a lot of the cards, they were really cheap back then, under $10, and there are still some today that I think are around that price. But anyways, thanks for sticking around for that. Now let's jump into the uncut sheet. Thanks again for sticking around to the very end. Now I'm going to show you guys this Mercadian Mosques reverse foil uncut sheet. Now there are many cards that if these were printed in English, they've got quite a bit of value. just go check out Troll and Toad's buy list and you'll see what I'm talking about. But you can see right here at the very bottom, property of Wizards of the Coast, Mercadian Moss, French. I guess that's what the FR is for, Form 3 rare. So same year, and I'm gonna show you guys the print off, and then I'm gonna show you guys what probably the most expensive card is. We've got the OK for Color Fit, and this was 1 day later, 2:05 p.m. And then again, signed off by Jeannie Maddox. So many of these cards, we saw reprints from other sets, which are really nice. I believe some of them are like Brainstorm, maybe Dark Ritual, but I believe the card that is worth the most, let me see if I can find it, I believe it's the Rishadan Port Rishadan. So this card is quite expensive in reverse holo or foil. Foils are much tougher to get in Magic the Gathering, at least from what I could find in the newer sets when you were trying to pull them out. I don't know if it was that way with Mercadian Moss because I never opened up the set myself, but I would assume that it was. And you can see all of them had their the wizard symbol where it just flies across the bottom, which I thought that was a nice little touch that they had. But if you guys have Magic the Gathering uncut sheets, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe put down in the comments if you have some, and if you want to sell them. Of course, you can always reach out to me because, again, Pokemon is really my main jam, but I love uncut sheets for other games as well. And to me, ones like this, even though it's in French, I really like looking at the artwork and just seeing how things have evolved over time. All right, guys, thanks for watching.